helping us in the camera department.
Here we are in the pottery studio. Did it go in? We'll see, hopefully. In the right hole. We don't know. Is there anybody out there in the world that can tell us if we're making noise? We hope it's working. All right, so here we are at the Driving Creek Railway and Pottery, and I'm going to tell, that one's been turned on, yeah? And I'm going to tell you all a little bit about what I've been working on, and then we're going to get Catherine up here to throw something on the wheel. Yes. Okay, so you can make things out of different shapes. So one of the things that I've been playing with is this plaster mold. Now you take this plaster mold and you push clay all into it, and what you end up with is a bowl like that. And then you turn it upside down, and you can use it as the base for a form. Now this is going to be a little skirt for some sort of a creature. The creature is going to be standing on these legs right here. Little shoes. And as you see, he's going to have a tail so that there's 3 points on the ground so that it won't fall over as it gets bigger. Now, these flowers were also made from a mold because my intention was to use the molds here at Driving Creek. And so I did some of this yesterday for you all. I pressed, ta-da, pressed some clay into this mold, and you end up with these flowers, which then you can applique on there. Applique, is that the right word? I don't even know for clay. And when you're attaching, and like here we've made a bowl by pressing it into this mold. Look at that beautiful bowl. Now I can take this bowl and attach it up here and attach a few more flowers going up like this, for example. And all of a sudden we've got a ball gown. Now when you're attaching clay together, one of the things one has to do is one has to scar the surface, kind of like if you were putting in a cement wall. I kind of scratch up the surface with this fabulous little tool, spray a little water on it, and then I would scratch where I wanted it to go. Now, I haven't really attached this one down, but I would attach this properly. Then you'd scratch up this surface, put that on there, and then slowly bend this onto here and get it attached. And I would work it over some time and smooth it and work it and add some clay. And then all of a sudden, I have this fabulous ball gown coming up. And there it is. Isn't that exciting? Yes, it is. I'm going to show you some other things while we're showing things. Using this form as my base, I can make a ball gown, or this is a fabulous chicken. And it was made by two bowls put together like this in the middle here. Its belly was two bowls, and these little hands were this mold right here. And this mold, I'm not sure who made it what for, but it was looked like a little leaf or something. And to make one of these, you just take the mold, clean it out, as well as you think you should, and you just press the clay into it. And then it takes it a little while to harden. So you just put it in there, and then normally I might let this sit here for hours until it got a little harder. And then you can pop it out. Ta-da! And we've made it now. This is a bit wet. So this is how I made the hands. And this here is a mold. Now this particular mold, can we turn that sound down a little bit? This particular mold was made for a handle for a flower pot, or perhaps a a handle or a foot on a flower pot, but I decided it'd make a great wing. And that's what these wings are constructed from, was two of these little molds. And this is all about using what's available to us here at the Driving Creek. So here's the chicken. Does anybody have a name for it? Bark, 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 bark. The chicken. Ooh. Sit over here, little chicken. Turn your back to us, chicken. Now, with that same shape, with that same bowl shape, woo, excuse me, yeah, we've got to watch the bit, don't we? This was made with a bowl on the bottom and a bowl on the top with a little bit of extra clay added the middle and the same round head. And so we have this, the same shape, and it can give us different, we got a fairy skirt, we got a chicken, and we got this here horse. Isn't that something? Now, these are all sort of curved, round, full shapes. And so I thought to do something a little different. Can I hand you this one, Frederick, and will you put it up on top there for us? Because then he'll just be, you feel safe? You feel safe with that?
No, but...
He doesn't feel safe, but he's going to take it. Thank you, Frederick. As usual, we have Frederick here helping us out. Oh, can you reach? Yes, he's got it up there. Ta-da! He's done it. Perfect. Now, look at this bad boy. This, come on, little girl. Maybe it's easier to pick her up like this. Okay, it might be a girl, it might be a boy. So the object for this was to have something that was not round, that had a bunch of you're welcome to come in and you're going to get on the train. Okay, this is about verticality. So I was building it up, and when I got here, I realized if it gets any taller, I'm not going to be able to pick it up and move it. So I decided to build the body in two pieces. So I took, do you see that little shape on the bottom there, those little striations? That was from, I made the bottom of the piece out of this, and I cut out the hole. And we're putting this, is going to sit right, see how that fits? And it's going to fit right on top of there. Ta-da! And the body is going to go on up from there. Now, I don't know exactly, this is kind of an odd looking creature, isn't it? The shirt maybe, and we're going to have to figure out how the arms and the head, maybe it'll be this tall? Is that good height, you think? Yeah, that'd be good. So this is how we can make pieces. Now, I could attach this piece to this, but I don't want to, because I think for firing and for just owning and moving around, you're better off with two pieces. Right now, this is still a bit soft. All right, now we'll put this one back, and we'll have one more discussion here about. All right, now over here, this was the first larger piece I had made because, oh, there's a train loading. You guys will hear the people loading on the train behind us. This is actually, in fact, a working railway, and people will be boarding this train, and this train will start up and head up the line. So that the train was built to get clay out of the hillside, and now it still functions as a tourist attraction. You can take the train to the top, and there's a place called the Eiffel Tower, and you can see for miles. So in the past, I had been making much smaller sculptures, things about this size. And Sam here at the railway said, make something bigger. So the first thing I made bigger was this thing, because I wanted to be sure I had a stable base, and I didn't know. When I build these things, I basically carve away. It's a subtractive process where I kind of get the shape, and then I take a little tool There they are loading them. They're locking them up on the train. They're just closing them gates. I don't know if they'll ever let them out at the top. They probably will. So this was done by carving away bits, but this had to be done added up. So I wanted to be sure, because I'd never built anything big, I wanted to be sure that I had a real stable base. So that's why I decided to make a big skirt. And as you'll see, this and all the pieces that you've seen, they're hollow. Hello, look up the skirt, look up the girl's skirt. Terrible. Oh, some late people running for the train. They're catching the train, they're catching the train. Now, this clay right here is earthenware clay. It's a low-fire earthenware clay that was literally just dug out of the mountainside. And when you fire it at a low temperature, when I say low, it's like 800 or 1,000 degrees, you end up with something this sort of bisque color, pink color, kind of like a flower pot would be. If you then take it up, if you take it up to a higher temperature, the clay turns brown like this. There's no coloring been put on this. It's just this clay baked to, this was taken up to 1,300 degrees, and it bakes it almost brown like that. That's right. Now, a little later, Catherine's going to come up here and show some throwing, and she'll be using a completely different kind of clay. We'll set these over here on the side. So now you see a little bit of the process and what's going on. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to sing a little song. What do you think of that? Does anybody have any questions, things, comments they want to say? Okay, well, now this train is going to take off in the middle of my set here, but we don't mind. This song is called Smile. It's a good idea. Wake up every morning, first thing you notice, oh, you're wearing a smile. Yeah, you're wearing your smile. And my pocket, it sure feels full with 2 or 3 pennies. Yes, it's true. If you got any, why, you've got plenty. Just wake up every morning, the first thing you notice, oh, you're wearing a smile. Yeah, you're wearing your smile. Yeah, you're wearing your smile. It's raining outside. I guess there won't be any paying work today, so I will go inside, lay around and shine like a sun ray. Woo-hoo! Off goes the train. That's right. Are they smiling? Woo-hoo! They don't even know what they're getting themselves in for. Just wake up every morning, first thing you notice, oh, you're wearing a smile. Yeah, you're wearing your smile. And if your truck breaks down, you might as well do it in a grease monkey's yard. If you think like that, you find your life's just not that hard. Wake up every morning, first thing you notice, oh, you're wearing a smile. Yeah, you're wearing your smile. Yeah, you're wearing your smile. Just keep wearing your smile. That's some advice. Keep wearing your smile. Try things you've never tried before. Keep getting bigger. Hey, do you guys want to come over and talk on the camera? Come on over. Meet the crowd. Do either of you have some, you could talk about trapping or working? No, we have some employees over there of the railway, but they're a bit camera shy. They're standing in the background chitty-chatting, but they're not willing to come up and talk. Um, can I hand this to you? Thank you so much. If you'll put it right there. All right, now, woohoo! Our friends are outside. This is a serious place. Look, before we do any more pottery, we're going to do some botany. Would you care for some botany lessons? Now, I might need some help. Do you have some information? You have some extra information on these things. This is a, look at it! This is the best thing that's happened to me all week. Now, it's citrus season here in the Coromandel. And I love citrus fruits, and generally they're just falling off the trees. In fact, this lemon came from Mary's. This is a lemon from Mary's house. That's right. And this is just a lovely big lemon. And this, we call it a pomelo. Is that correct? And how do we spell it? Frederick?
Pomelo.
Pomelo. And they are native. They don't grow right here. It came from a little further north. Somebody brought it to the thrift store. I had to pay 50 cents for this piece of fruit. It's almost a crime to have to pay for fruit with it falling off the trees, but I'd never seen it. I love this piece of fruit. I paid 50 cents. What do you know about it?
That is the grandparent of grapefruit.
This is the grandparent, and you feel free to come on camera and talk to us. He's off the camera. Okay, now I haven't actually tasted it. Who wants to taste a piece? Anybody really? Come on up here closer. I mean, just because I can't throw it at you. Want me to throw you a piece? I'm cutting it with my dirty knife. I'm going to cut it. Should I cut it long ways or half?
Yes.
Anybody have an idea? I'm going long ways. I don't know if that's the right way to cut it. This is the grandparent of a grapefruit. And it smells so incredibly good. And it looks so funky, you can hardly get over it. I will rip it up.
Dribbling all over.
Oh, it's dripping all over me. Oh, look at this. It's a lot of skin, and now it's got dirty clay marks on it. It's a lot of skin. Does anybody want to try a piece? Anybody want to try this? Here you go. Take one to Mary if she wants it. Anybody else trying a piece? Jack, come on. Come on up and try a piece. Okay, what does it taste like? Do you all want a piece?
I think it might taste like pomelo.
What is it? Is it sour like a lemon?
It'll be grapefruit.
Would you like to try this pomelo? Come on. I'm a pomelo. This is Janet. She works here in the shop, and Janet makes fine mosaics. That's right. She's a mosaic artist. Maybe one day. So this is kind of sour. It's a pith. How's the pith? Have we eaten the pith?
Wow, that's nice, but whoa. Be good in gin and tonic.
All right. Now, next thing we have. Oh, Mary, did you get a piece? Come on. Here you go. Here we go. She's bashful. Try it. It tastes a lot like a lemon. We need some. Bring us the tequila. More tequila. Woohoo! Tequila. All right. Now this. All right, you all come. Pipe down. Pipe down over there. Y'all got. Hey, pipe down in the back. You give them a lemon and they all go wacko over there in the corner. All right. Here. Give them, pan over there and watch them, all those people. Pan the camera to them eating. What we're having here is called a pomelo. We're having a pomelo party, darling.
Yes.
Okay, now, moving on from pomelos. This one is called a kaffir lime. Now, would you spell that? Can we spell that?
Kaffir.
Kaffir, but it's not, the IR isn't really pronounced usually, is it? It's not kaffir, it's kaffa. Kaffa, and it's a lime, and they're mostly, people say they're mostly used for their leaves, is that correct? Although the person who grew this particular one swears that her kaffir limes, oh yes, there's the leaf, here wait, are the best. So I'm gonna cut this and taste, you guys wanna taste this kaffir lime? Not by the look of my face, she says. No, but isn't this beautiful? I mean, come on, people.
When you think
Look,
looks
they're like,
looks like a brain.
it looks like a brain. I wonder if it'll do my brain any good.
Yes.
This is just so beautiful. All right. But the kaffir lime is really used for its leaves. Hey, they're just having, y'all are having too much fun in the corner there. Okay, so normally you would use this leaf in cooking. Sometimes you would cook it or just cut it up really small and actually eat the leaf. Does anybody want to try? I'm not sure what I'm tasting. Yep. Okay, now this is another lime from local grown. The Kaffir lime and this lime were local grown right down here. Let's try this one. Shh. There. That's. Are you coming up? Come on over. Come on over. Do you have something that you want to talk about trapping or training or Dean? Anything you want to say to the public? Please come join us. He's not good in front of a camera. All right, look at this. This lime. Anybody want to try this one? This one is not as a different kind of lime, but I don't remember its name. Darn, I don't remember its name.
Tahitian lime, is it?
No. Thought you said, anyway, so there you go. So that is our citrus.
Oh, that's limey.
Yeah, that one's limey, isn't it? This is your citrus lesson for the day.
Because winter being the season for citrus.
Winter is the season for citrus. We have fresh oranges and, oh, let's talk about this pot. You know, like everything else here at the railway, you have to have a beautiful bowl. This made by Paul Masick. Paul Masick was here at the railway. He was known for putting this funny little bit on the bottom of his pots. Can we see that clearly? So this is a Paul Masick plate, if one is keeping track of these things. All right, now, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to have Catherine join us on the stage and bring a lump of clay because we're going to fire up this wheel. And Catherine's going to give us a little wheel throwing lesson. Do we want to have, you want to just come and sit? Can I give you this whole tray?
Well, you've got a...
Yeah, we've got
Stagehand.
just as well, we've got such good staff. And I'm going to hand this one, off we go. All righty. How are you, Catherine?
Good. Good. Kia ora, everyone. Thank you so much for having me in your show.
Well, sit down. Let me give you this. I'm going to give you this microphone.
All right.
Now, Catherine has just arrived here at the Driving Creek. You're our new pottery tutor, is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
Now, Catherine, where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
From Colombia. And how long have you been in
Yeah.
New Zealand?
I've been here in New Zealand 3 years now.
Uh-huh.
I'm super excited about joining to the Driving Creek Potters team.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
We're excited to have you. What, other than pottery, what sort of things do you do? What's your life all about?
Well, I love dancing,
Ooh,
of course.
Merengue? Or
Salsa.
Salsa.
Yeah.
I don't know the
some
difference.
salsa.
What is the difference between merengue and salsa?
Oh, it's a really good question.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe I just find that with salsa you can have like more steps. So there is more variety. But it's maybe because I like more salsa than merengue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to dance. I love getting involved with different educational programs, working with kids as well, camping, and I found in New Zealand an amazing place to keep learning, exploring, and having a great life.
Now, how did you find the Driving Creek Railway? How did you find this particular spot of paradise?
Oh, it's just amazing.
How did you find it? But how did you
Well,
find out about us?
Yeah, it was, I think that it was maybe just browsing, honestly. I was just browsing on Facebook and I was really working hard trying to find a nice place to live and work before. And that day I wasn't searching, that day I was just browsing on Facebook, and then I found different reviews and people telling amazing stories about Driving Creek, the whole experience, no? The railway, the zip line, of course, and the pottery. And then I saw great publication, which was an invitation for someone to join as a tutor. I was, wow, this is the place that I want to be.
You just were brave.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I just flicked a message, and then I had the chance to meet Frederick. We had a Zoom meeting,
Oh,
and then yeah, it was like having so many questions, and I was living in Auckland, and all of my friends were like, "Wow,
What
so
are
you are
you
just
doing?"
going to move to Coromandel?" I was like, "Well, yeah."
Well, I'm really glad that you have moved here. Yay!
thank
That's my
you.
new friend. We have another little person in our artist village here.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be by myself all the time. All
Yeah.
right. So your job
Right.
is going to be teaching people how to throw. Do you want to give us a little
Yeah.
lesson on how, or you give the camera a lesson on how you
Awesome.
would, I'm not, pretend like I'm not here.
But you are.
I am here, but
Yeah.
but don't talk to me,
Okay.
talk to the camera.
All right. So what we need is just have a container with some water. Here is super cool because all the taps have hot water and it's
Yeah.
quite cold, so it's just very cozy.
More
Yeah, well,
water.
we need just a cloth to clean a bit the mess. Already made clay. So before, what I was doing just on the bench was throwing the clay and trying to remove all the bubbles that were inside and making sure that it was nice, smooth, and without stones or anything
I guess it's
weird.
a lot like kneading bread, but with
Yes.
clay we call it wedging.
Wedging, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was feeling the same when I was doing back in Colombia arepas, which are like tortillas, like the Mexican tortillas with mom, like just doing like the same process, all of your
Yeah,
body
yeah.
and your weight. So well,
And
So-
in India, when you're making roti,
roti, yeah,
Yep,
as
yep.
well,
or
as well,
chapati, whichever, depending on where you are, what you call them.
yeah. So perfect. We are all familiar with this. It's just as well like cooking a bit. So we might need as well a nylon wire, or like the ones that you use for fishing, and just a wooden tool and a plastic or a wooden kind of spatula. I don't know if you call it in a different way.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's a particular pottery name for that tool. No.
Yep.
Probably is.
The last but not least, just a sponge, which can be actually like any shape. Well, that's all.
Okay,
Yeah,
so throw us a
we are
pot
ready.
and tell us what you're doing so that we know.
Okay, so what we need to do, just first part, we will try to put it kind of in the middle, but we don't need to be really worried about because then we are just going to actually center.
Center it, yes. And
Yeah.
there's these nice little lines, but you can feel it if it's centered.
You will feel it, yeah, like the clay is going to start like dancing and just moving
Ooh,
around.
dancing! The clay
Yeah,
is
yeah,
dancing,
as
Nina.
well.
Oh.
Yeah. So we need to have our hands like smooth and wet, and then just with the pedal. Yep. We need to make sure as well that we are not going to be too far, but not super slow. Once our hands are wet, we start just feeling the clay and trying to make it as well comfortable, just right in the middle. We need to make sure that like our hands are our tools as well, so we need to use pretty much just the middle of our hands and start doing some pressure, as well as using our body. So if we want to make just more pressure, we just go forward, or if it's less, we move as well a bit backward.
Okay, so the idea here is just to get it centered on the wheel.
Yeah.
That is an important step.
Yeah, you can actually spend, I mean, there is like a whole diploma just trying to center.
Yeah, I know. We're doing a quick lesson here. So normally, you would take your time.
Yes. But yeah, what is really important is just like don't feel frustrated, and it's fine. And the clay is just going to tell you as well what does it need. If it's more water, if it's more pressure, maybe just more speed with the wheel. And and we need to be as well like squeezing with our hands to try to build something, maybe just going up slowly.
So when you press on the outside, it can't go down because of the plate. The only place the clay can go is up if you're squeezing in.
Yes. So for starting, what I like to think is that I would like to create like a kind of mountain, and then using as well like my thumbs to start squeezing down, just on the plate, as you were saying. And with my thumbs as well, like just going right in the middle and moving a bit forward. So I will make of that mountain not like a triangle, not a pyramid, and something more.
More like a cone shape.
Yes.
Or not a cone, a cylinder.
Yes.
Cylinder,
like
round. A sort of rounded cylinder.
Sort of, yeah.
Oh,
Around
a rounded cone.
A round cone.
And this is an electric wheel. There are kick wheels, and there's plenty of those around. But
Yes, yeah. When I first started, which was maybe the first time was 6 years ago, we were using just the other one, like the pedal one,
Yeah.
which is like okay, it's like doing some bicycle, like some exercise. It's different as well. Sometimes you can find this one a bit tricky because, well, understand the speed. You can go really, really fast. Maybe, well, yeah. I'm not sure if you can see the difference. And when you are pedaling, I don't know, it's different. Maybe it's just easy to control sometimes.
I know there was a guy who broke the Guinness Book of World Records. He threw 150 pots in an hour. 159 pots in an hour on a kick wheel. That was yeah, he was kicking with both legs. Dude was going. All right, so what are we
Going
doing
hard.
here next? What's the next step here in our process?
What I like to do as well is maybe just like keep cleaning the plate.
She's a neat and tidy
Yeah.
potter.
Yeah, I am. And yep, we might need some water as well, and then just try to go up. Maybe a
And
bit
we
more
can see
steep.
there's still a little bit of a woomple in there. But
Yeah,
like you
it
say,
is.
you could spend your whole career just learning how to center.
Yeah.
Woomple, that's not a real term. That's not a real term. A woomple.
I won't put-
There's a bit of a woomple in it.
Mhm.
Spooge that comes out. And there's-
Okay.
Okay, there's something
So,
satisfying.
yeah, well, it's not quite center, but will work for the as an example.
Yeah,
Um,
because she might spend a long time keeping going, centering.
yes.
At the moment, we're going to go a little faster because
Mhm. So once we are quite happy with our like kind of mountain, what we can do is put our thumbs just inside, like very gentle. We just need to make sure that we are not going to do any of the steps very in a rush, otherwise we will just lose the control. So we have this hand, which is going to like embrace and keep our clay in the place that we already have, and with our other hand, we are going to start using our fingers inside and gently just coming down as deep as we want.
and then all this would depend exactly on what type of a shape you were trying to end up with.
Yes.
But in general, this is what you do to start most shapes.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is just like a very basic cylinder, but yeah, as you said, it depends on which ones are your expectations as well. So what we are doing is just this movement, right? Just our
Yeah, so
hand
the-
containing here.
The fingers are pressing the clay, and this other hand is keeping the clay from just floofing off in no direction. So you're compressing between your hand and your finger the clay. Look at that. And you can make something go up. And you can see that at any point you can get more of a wobble.
So yeah, it depends if we want something very thick or if we want something like maybe more delicate and less heavy. We might need to keep working in our walls and making them like nicer. We might need to go as well, like up and down and squeeze. And just, it's a matter of just try to feel like what's going on with the clay. If it's dry, if it's too wet as well. That's why we have here our sponge, which is going to help us as well if we put it inside.
Oh, get some of the water out of the bottom of the thing so that you don't end up with a cup full of sludgy mud.
Yeah.
Look at that cylinder she's made.
Oh, try and keep this working.
Now, hey, Frederick, do you have two cylinders, one with a cut bottom and one with an uncut bottom? Because we were talking about different steps along the way that we might. This is one of the talking points in a class. So she's made this cylinder, which could theoretically be a cup. And as you see here, this cylinder, is this a good place? This cylinder is sitting heavily on the ground. Here, we've taken away just a little bit to have just a slight undercup, which gives this more loft. And so just a little teeny detail by narrowing and cutting under the base will make a big difference. Now, you would do that as you're taking it up. Thank you. I'm going to hand these back to you, Frederick. All right, so what are we going to try and do, Miss Catherine, with your piece here?
Okay.
What are you trying to have happen?
So, just to try
Just
to
clean it up.
make it, yeah. I'm trying to make it maybe more straight, like have a kind of, yeah, proportional cylinder.
Oh, there we go. This is a
Yep.
little needle tool, and they're great for cutting clay when it's moving. So you're going to cut off a little bit of the top
Yeah,
to make a
so
nice...
we just keep spinning.
And you can cut off a bit. Whoop. Now,
That it can
she's
turn.
under pressure, folks, but
Ooh,
don't worry, my dear Catherine. You're
this
doing fine.
Maybe just done.
Whoop. There we go. And see, she's cut it off. And
Yeah.
ideally, it would be nice and even.
Sometimes
but
I use this one as well,
Sometimes-
even when
oh.
it's spinning.
you can
Shall we
use,
try?
Yeah, let's try and see what happens. Whoop.
Okay.
Just cut that off. Slow it down and get it out of there. Now you have a
Okay.
nice even top.
Yeah.
We would give you more time normally, but yeah,
No, but it's good. I mean,
Yeah.
those are just the
that's
basics.
it. That's the basic,
So,
and then practice, practice, practice.
yes,
10,000 hours. Okay, now to get it off of this, what
we
would-
have our nylon string. Sometimes we put some wood just in the endings, or coins, or I don't know what we have here.
Those are washers, I think. We call them
Okay,
washers.
washer.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Oh yeah, there's one with a
Uh-huh.
piece of wood.
Yeah,
That
those
one's
are
easier
very
to-
handy and easy to make as well. This is a metal wire, which will work as well. I guess it depends as well on how big is your piece of clay,
Yeah.
right?
And there's like anything else. There's a million ways to do it, but these are just some little basics.
Yes.
Now, get it
So,
off, you're going to cut it with that
we
wire.
just, yeah, press the wire into the bottom of the plate, move along, and splash the one that
I
is
got
beside
some.
you.
Yes, splash the... And there you can take it off.
Then you can take it off. You will have,
A little cup. And then you
Yeah.
would set that on a, he'll bring a bat. You would set that on
Yeah.
a bat to dry.
perfect. And maybe what we can do as well, just, I mean, because this
Yes.
one was just a,
Yeah, this is
like
just a
an
test.
example,
We're going to see, yeah.
a test. So what I like to do as well is just cut it in half, so that we will understand, like, once we were doing the first part, which was just moving our fingers just right into the bottom, we need to make sure that we'll have like a, yep, like a good part in the bottom, especially if it's going to be cup for drinking or like any of the footwear, and as well make sure which one is going to be the side.
How thick you
How
want?
thick do you want
Yeah.
this? Yes. Yeah.
Yep. There we go.
That's
it.
all.
That's the
Yeah.
first little lesson in how to throw. Yay! Thank you so much.
Yay.
Now, when did you first do pottery?
I was still doing my bachelor in visual arts in Colombia, and I had the chance to take different subject in,
I'm going to
in
turn
other
this wheel
uni.
off while we're talking because
yes.
it's making noise. Okay, carry on.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was like a complementary subject for my whole program of visual arts. It was amazing because we had the chance as well to travel to Barichara, which is one town like something similar to Coromandel, but in Colombia.
Oh.
So you will find like really gorgeous orange and terracotta clay, and it's a really big community of ceramics over there. So yeah, we were just traveling there and throwing pottery wheel. We did some raku as well, the Japanese technique, which was awesome.
Okay, and then let's look at the difference. This clay is more of a stoneware clay, and it's a slightly different color. This, I'll shine it up so it looks a little bit like that. This is the terracotta clay, and this would be taken. These would be taken to a higher temperature. Usually, this stoneware, and this one I think is rough and it has more weird stuff in it, so it'd be harder to throw it. Sometimes they sift it a little finer when you're going to be throwing it, so you don't cut your hands up on everything. All right. Well, is there anything else you need to share with the world? Welcome to
No.
Driving Creek.
Thank you.
And if you want to take some pottery lessons, I think it's at 10 o'clock and 1:30 every day. You can sign up for a wheel throwing class. You can also sign up for some slab building. I think all this information is online at drivingcreek.com, I guess, or DCR. What is the DCrails.nz. Check us out. All right, and we're going to thank you so much. I really appreciate your
thank
taking
you.
the time, and we'll
Perfect,
clean this
thank
up
you.
afterwards. Let me take. I'm going to
Great.
take the. I'm going to take your thing. Does anybody else have something they want to say to the world while we're the train? Have we got a train back? Yep. All right, so I might just sing us one last song and get us out of here. Oh, my hands are dirty, but I bet I can still sing a song. The train has arrived. There's some people in the station. They're going to get a surprise song. Yeah, I had somebody comment that that they hadn't. We're all good. I heard somebody comment the other day that they hadn't heard this song in a while. So, whoo-hoo! Look at me with my dirty hands. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Driving Creek Railway. I don't jump freight trains when they roll by. I don't like the blues, I'll tell you why. I go downtown when I want to smoke. Oh, and I'm treating life like a joke. But I won't go sitting in my neighbor's yard, 'cause he's been a-working mighty hard. I go downtown, but I don't wear shoes. Oh, you know I don't sing the blues. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. And I won't get cross if you smile at me, and I'll throw my troubles out to sea. I don't wear black or need a heart attack. Oh, we could be happy. How about that? I don't think much about what could go wrong, and I don't want to sing about it in a song. I'll look at you and shake my head. Oh, Lord knows we'd be better off dead. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sun shine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sun shine through. Don't see Saturn when I look at the stars, but I know it's out there and so's Mars. I don't think much about the evening news, and woo-hoo, I don't sing the blues. I don't like ham, but I do like toast, and I certainly don't care who you hate the most. I don't care how it's always been done. Well, you could give in but still have some. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine too. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sun shine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sun shine through. You gotta let your sun shine through. All right, we're heading out. You want to do a quick little pan around for us? This is what goes on here. People come in, they're free to use some clay and ride the train. And I'm so glad everybody made it today. Here we are in this beautiful studio. If you've always wanted to be a potter, get yourself right on down here to the Driving Creek. Goodbye. See you next week. Finish us, Jack. Hit finish.